Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
All right, everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of the Frankly Francisco podcast. Today, I have a special guest. She has 10 years of marketing experience. She runs her own company now. I love to speak to women in business because I don't think we have enough interviews when it comes to that in the podcast realm. So I'm glad I got her on. I'd like to introduce everybody to Masha Mahdavi. How are we doing today?
Hey, I'm great. Thanks for having me. How are you?
Good. So tell me a little bit more about what you do in your line of work.
Yeah, so we really specialize in digital marketing. And really what we do is make sure that our clients show up on the internet when their ideal clients are looking for them. So whether that's through ads, social media, or organic, our job is to make sure that they have visibility when it's needed.
That's very, very interesting because it's like me. I have to do all the digital marketing myself. So it's nice when you can have somebody to, do some of the heavy lifting for you to be able to do that. How many people do you have on your team?
We're actually pretty small. It's me and my business partner, Matthew Pose. We do a lot of the heavy lifting ourselves, and we do have a small team to help us. But when it comes to strategy and how to actually create campaigns that perform well, it's just me and my business partner who are in charge of that.
So how did you get into this? What steered you in this direction to go into digital marketing? Because it's a big field. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of people out there. What drove you to go this route?
I used to do a lot of event marketing, which was great in the beginning of my career. And then I had a friend ask me about having her website show up on the internet. And I was like, well, this is marketing and I should know that. And we weren't taught that in school. I went to like a business degree, a specialist in marketing, and that was not something we covered at all. So I got really excited about it. I started looking for agencies who specialize specifically in this field. And I got a couple internships and I kind of started on the ground level. I started as an intern and I learned everything from the bottom up. When I was fortunate enough to be in a company that was really great at what they did and they saw my potential. So they ended up hiring me and ended up growing within the company to director of operations towards the end, years down the line.
So do you find it difficult because, women in industry, how sometimes women are treated in business in general. Have you found there've been some doors that have been able to be open because of that? Or have you been able to work around that to be able to get where you need to be?
I feel like our industry overall has definitely seen some changes in the positive direction. When I started, there was very few women, and even when I go to conferences, there's maybe like 2 or 3 for the whole conference. There almost no women speakers. And recently, we've seen a huge shift in that. We're seeing a lot more women involved within the industry and actually doing a lot of more speaking and leadership positions, which has been really wonderful. I'm sure there's still a long way to go, but definitely seeing changes in how they're represented. And there's more women even interested in doing this type of job. I think a lot of people I talk to, sometimes they're like, well, unsure, but as soon as I start talking to them, they're like, okay, she knows what she's talking about. It's not really a problem.
Yeah, I think some people get the misconception sometimes just because you're a woman that you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to certain industries. And I'm like, no, to me that's nonsense. I know women who were in power who are CEOs or major companies, and I think if it's a passion that you have, it's something that you should continue to do, and that's what you're doing. You're building something for yourself moving forward. It's good to be your own boss, but it's a lot of work that you have to put a lot of sweat equity into that in order for it to be successful. So what are your hours like? What are you working? Like, how much time do you put in per week doing this? Because it doesn't seem like it's something simple that can be done, easily. Especially if you're juggling multiple clients at one time, there has to be a system in place for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And we are working full time. We are pretty busy right now. However, one of the things we're really, really big into is optimizing our entire process. So from sending out emails to follow protocols, we have tasks, we have the whole system really set up in a way that takes away a lot of the busy work. We try to just focus our time on things that really matter, especially things matter for our clients. So we don't spend hours on reports when that could be automated, and we spend our time on strategy and analyzing data.
So typically when you're analyzing data and you're thinking strategy, how long do these meetings last? Are you in there for a couple of hours? Do you guys break it down into segments where you say, I'm going to concentrate on this section here for a while, and then we're going to move on to the next one? How does that work for you?
We definitely schedule everything out ahead of time, and it really depends on the campaign and what it entails. Generally speaking, when we onboard a client, we create the overall strategy ahead of time, and then month to month, we kind of review the data and make sure we're on track and see if we need to make adjustments and tweaks here and there. And also sometimes different companies have new initiatives, have changes within. So we want to make sure that whatever changes are happening, we're also taking that into consideration in our marketing strategy. So if they have, for example, new services or thinking of starting or new products, we want to make sure that that's part of the marketing strategy as well.
So when you say you want to make them visible online, what does that entail? Like you're saying visible, but visible how?
Yeah, that's a great question. Generally, I would break it down into 3 different areas, really. Social media is the easy one. Everyone's familiar with social media. You can run ads, you can do posts. That one, pretty common. People understand what that is. But there's a huge aspect of internet that's also paid ads. We might think of the search ads on Google or banner ads. That is a big part of what we do. Having those set up properly can really make or break a campaign. And then the third one that some people might be familiar with, some are not, is organic. And really, if you heard the term SEO, that's just making sure a website shows up when people search for specific words in Google without having to pay for every click on those ads. So that's the one that is a lot more long tail, like longer strategy. It takes a little bit longer to show up, but once you show up, it's so amazing for those businesses if you're able to do that for the right keywords.
So when you're running a campaign for a client, typically how long is that campaign? You have a strategy 30-day campaign, 60-day campaign. Is there a certain time frame that you have to show results in as to where you want to take the campaign that you're working on?
Yeah, absolutely. So it depends once again. So if it's paid ads, the thing with ads, you put money into it, you're going to get results. It's like turning on and off the faucet. With those, it usually takes us at least a month to like really optimize, set it up. But within first month, you should start seeing results. By month 3, you should be in a place where you're actually making decent profits, so you can continue it. If you're running it for more than a month or you're not seeing anything, then something is wrong. And I would definitely go back and see what's going on. With organic SEO, that's usually a much of a longer process. Depending where you are when you're starting and how competitive the market is, it could take a few months, it could take longer, it could take less, depending on, once again, what the market is. Do you have a brand new website? Have you been around for a while? There's a lot of factors that will determine on how fast you're going to start seeing ROI from your investment to marketing.
So this is very intricate in the way you do this. So it's not just, hey, we're just going to throw you up on social media and tweet it out and, say, hey, come see this business, blah, blah, blah. But you guys break everything down where it can be the most effective for the company. So what type of companies do you deal with? Like, besides, just general businesses, do you deal with people in entertainment? Do you deal with people, that own Fortune 500 or even Fortune 100 companies, podcasters? What is the range of people that you deal with?
Yeah, so we really like working with service type of businesses. That could be lawyers, doctors, accountants, anyone who provides a service to a specific community. We work with companies that are pretty large and they could, let's say, serves multiple states if it's a bigger law firm, or it could be someone who's smaller who might have an office and just services within 50 miles of the office location. Those are the clients we really love working with because we're able to work with them to like really calculate like what is going to be their cost per lead and cost per new client or business deal. And based on the math, we can strategize on what makes sense for them versus trying to apply one strategy that might not be the right fit for their specific business and their industry.
Yeah, lawyers I find very interesting because they're everywhere. So, you have to be able to stand out from the next guy. And I think what you guys do is actually very, very helpful because if somebody's just coming into their own and they start their own law firm and nobody knows them, so they have to be able to get themselves out there and advertise. And I think the service you provide can help them with that. Doctors is the same way. It's like, people don't like doctors they don't know. Some guy just, hey, I'm a limb surgeon. You don't know me, but come see me. But I think exposure and advertising makes a big difference when people want to feel comfortable about who they know, because people want to Google people. And the more they can see you, the more they can visualize you and read about you, I think the more confident they can feel like, hey, this guy's out there. He's just not some Joe Schmo that's decided to put his business on the internet without any strategy behind it. So, I mean, I think it's a good thing. So what has been the biggest pain point for you since you started your company? What has been the biggest headache that you've had since doing what you're doing?
It's kind of funny because we started a company a little bit before the pandemic started. It was perfect timing.
Right.
But we've been really fortunate with our clients. Most of our business is through referrals. So we've been very fortunate, just got through the pandemic. We're able to actually grow and scale during those times. But I think our biggest challenge has been really finding great team members. I think our clients are so amazing and we want the best for them. But as we're growing and hiring, finding the right fit is something we've been struggling a little bit just because there's so many people out there who might be good at what they do, but might not be the right fit for kind of what we're looking for. But we're working on that.
That tends to happen a lot. When you run your own company, you work for somebody else. You're helping somebody else build their business. Sometimes we forget to continue to build ours. And when we're building our business, we have to hire the right people around us as well, because a bad employer that doesn't fit can actually be detrimental to your business. So now this is a funny question. How do you guys promote yourselves? Since you're worried about you doing everything else for everyone else and you're out there marketing everybody else, how do you market yourself? What makes you stand above these other companies that do the same thing?
Oh, absolutely. So same thing we're doing for our clients, we've been doing for ourselves. So for our own company, we've been, when time calls for it, we would run some Google ads, easy way to turn on the faucet, get some new business. And then of course, SEO has been an ongoing process. We've got a couple different websites that we're ranking for different search terms. So that's kind of what we preach to our clients, what we do for them. We take the same strategy and make it work for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to. You can't sell a product to somebody else if you're not using that product.
Oh, absolutely.
So you can't sell a client on saying, "Hey, I'm gonna get your business out there, and we're gonna get your face out there," but then they can't find you. It wouldn't make any sense. Which I think it's a beautiful thing. You are doing something that you're passionate about, and I think that's what it all comes down to. But you have to have a strong team behind you as well. How many clients right now do you guys have in your book of business as we speak?
We're not that big. I think we're around 20 clients at this moment. We're pretty small. We're keeping it small just because we have a small team and want to make sure we have the best service we can do for our clients.
Well, expansion is going to come at some point. It doesn't have to happen right away. I think, and this is one of the things that I've learned is you want quality over quantity anyway. Yeah. So you want to give your client the best experience that you can give them. And they want to know that you don't have, 50 other people and not giving them the same attention. So I think what you guys are doing is good. I think you guys are pacing yourselves because eventually it's going to come. Eventually your team is going to get bigger and you're going to be able to expand at a better pace. But I think by you guys keeping it small, I think it's actually going to be better for you long term, because now your skill sets are going to grow even better, because you're helping these companies build up even more, because you're centrally focused on them and not, everybody else out there.
Yeah, I think, yeah, and the hardest part has been having saying to say no to businesses, because we only want to work with people who we believe in and we know we can do a really great job for. So that's been kind of a rule of thumb. It doesn't matter what the marketing budget is. If we don't think we're right fit, we're going to say no to them, because we're not, like, our name is on it. We want to make sure that everyone we work with, we're going to deliver the results we promise.
See that right there? That's why you guys are going to be successful, for that very reason, because you just said it yourself. It doesn't matter what they're offering you money wise. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, it's not worth you doing, because at the end of the day, you are not going to give them the best that you guys have to offer. And I think that's a fantastic way to think. That's the mentality of somebody that knows, listen, you could throw a boatload of money at me. Doesn't mean I'm going to give you maximum effort if it's not something I'm comfortable with. So I salute you on that. That's actually very smart thinking on your part. Don't take business just to take business. Make sure it's something that fits your lens. Make sure it's something that you can, put your name and your stamp on and say, hey, I want to stick this to this business here, and I want to get this business out there. So where do you see this going from here, though? Because you're based out of California. So where do your clients, have clients in different parts of the States? Is it strictly California? Where is your largest client base at right now?
We actually have clients all over the US. Majority of them are closer to us. California is definitely, just because it's easy, we're more known here locally.
Yeah.
We do work with clients everywhere. And we're kind of lucky that way, because with digital, we don't have to be next door to them. We do Zoom calls, and strategy is going to be the same. Anyway, we can just replicate what we're doing. We know we're going to do it well.
So that, with COVID and all that, even though we're kind of get past a lot of the stuff, people still don't want to meet face to face. I think Zoom is the best way to have meetings with people, because you can still, sell your pitch and show them the numbers with screen share and everything else that comes with that. So for now, where can people find you? Where can people find your business at if they want an opportunity to let them know about their business to you?
Yeah, our website is semdynamics.com, and that'd be the best way to reach out to us, through our website. And then with a lot of what we do is we do a lot of consultation too. So if someone's not sure whether they're on the right path, or whether what type of marketing is good fit for them, or even if who's they're working with doing a good job, we can take a look and just give us our honest advice of like, hey, they're doing great, or maybe tell them to tweak this and you're on the right track, or hey, maybe this is not the best fit for you.
So are the consultations free?
Yes, they are.
See, you tell people free, they're going to love it. They'll, what I mean? That's one of the things, as long as they say, hey, I can get a consultation and see where I'm at. And even if it doesn't work out, it's still something that they can, sit down and have a conversation with you with, which I think it's great. It's a process though. I know it's got to be a process for you. It's a full-time job. And when you own your own business, that's one of the things that people don't realize. It's not something that you can do part-time. It's constant. Now, do you folks work out of an office, or are you just folks working from home because of COVID? Because I know Cali has some weird rules when it comes to the COVID lockdowns in the workplace.
Oh, we sure do. Especially in Los Angeles. They were so strict. We kind of transitioned to working from home right now for everyone on our team, which is really great, because it really gives you access to a lot more people who want to work from home, who are really great what they do. So it kind of helped us limit the boundaries of physical location and work with the best of the best.
That's awesome. That's one of the things that it's actually been beneficial for you guys, actually, for the lockdowns, because it's giving you more expansive space to work with and clientele. So are you guys going to return to the office at some point, or is this the model that you want to stick to because it's been working so well?
I think we're probably going to stick for this model for a while. Don't know what's going to happen like maybe 3 years from now, but immediate future, I think this not only works well for us, but I think it gives us opportunity to work with more amazing talents that are out there who might not be in the same city as we are.
So do you guys are you guys going to be doing conventions? Are you going to be going to any, places to promote your business outside of what you're doing now at home if the opportunity presents itself?
We don't have anything planned at this moment. We love going to conferences.
Mhm.
So big conferences are probably going to be there at least in attendance. But really, since we specialize in digital, that's what we do. We're online and we focus our marketing and our presence on the internet.
So you literally work an 8-hour day doing this, right? Or is it
Yeah.
longer? Or is it longer for you? Do you cut yourself off? Sometimes I feel like it's harder when you're home, that you work a couple extra more hours than you would normally work in the office. So is that the case for you? Do you know when to cut yourself off, or sometimes you go a little bit longer than you would like to?
I think we're in a place of sometimes I definitely do go over, but I almost feel like when you love what you do, it's really work.
Yeah, well, when you're married and you have kids, trust me, you'll learn how to cut it off when you need to be, because attention has to get spread everywhere. But I think what you do is amazing. I mean, I love to speak to more women in your position, because I don't think a lot of women get enough credit and get enough recognition for the effort and time that they put into building businesses. And you're building a business that is starting to become and is starting to shape into something that's going to skyrocket you. And you're doing it the smart way. You're not jumping in, taking 50 clients at one time. You know your limitations, which I think is a healthy way of building a business. Know your limitations, and you're doing that right now. And I think it's I think it's a great way to continue to move forward what you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's very exciting. And I love meeting new people who do what we do, but it's been really great experience just starting this company and getting through pandemic and trying to really focus on growth and just doing a great job for our clients.
So at the end of the day for you, okay, big picture,
Mhm.
you folks just want to get as big as you can down the road, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think not too big. I feel like at the end of the day, we want to make sure that the quality of our service stays consistent. A lot of our core values when we created this company, we had multiple meetings and we discussed what do we really want to stand for, because it's not just about making money, which obviously is part of it, but it's really we want to make this into something that's more than that. We want to create an amazing work environment, and we want to do something that actually makes difference in our clients' lives. There's a ton of marketing companies out there. We all know that. So we wanted to really create a place that almost leaves a legacy and affects a lot more than just us. Part of what we do is a lot of work with nonprofits, and we try to give back to our community every year at the end, just so it's not just about growing, but it's really sharing what we actually do and what we make.
Sustainability. I think that's what it comes down to, sustainability.
Yeah.
You guys want to, and I applaud you for that. Continue the growth, continue to do what you're doing. So remember, folks, her business deals with people who offer services. So whether you're a doctor, whether you're a lawyer, nonprofits as well, give her a chance. Go on the website, contact her, see what she can do for you. It was very nice having you on the show. Continued success to you, continued success to your company, continue with the growth. So before we get off, folks, I like to end like I always end. If you found your purpose in life, no matter what anybody says, live it. We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.